this assignment, but he managed to weigh in at 135, as did Whitaker. Jones is 2.5 inches taller than the champion.
And now we'll see our punch stat numbers, which come from 3 fight averages. But perhaps the most interesting thing about these punch stat numbers is that Jones himself is a computer sciences student at a junior college outside of Detroit. So if he loses here, perhaps he'll go to work for punch stat. There you see the jabs. Whitaker throws more jabs than Jones does.
Rules for the fight are taken from all 3 of the governing bodies which recognize Whitaker as champion. 3 judges scoring the fight. 10-point must system. No standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule in effect. You can be saved by the bell in the last round only. We want to pass along to our viewers that both President Bush and Secretary of Defense Cheney have held briefings within the past hour confirming that a ground war in the Persian Gulf is underway, and also stating that for now briefings are suspended and there will be no further official information for the time being. So with that said, we go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for pre-fight introductions here.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from Caesars Palace here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Main Events Monitor and the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, present Part 2 of this World Championship boxing doubleheader. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman, supervisor at ringside, Ariesto Manrique, the World Boxing Association President, Dr. Gilberto Mendoza, supervisor at ringside, Santiago Chigas, the International Boxing Federation President, Robert W. Lee, and the supervisor for the IBF is Walter Stone. And of course, it is approved and sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. All the officials shall remain the same except for the judges. Doing the scoring once again on a 10-point must system. For this bout, they are Dave Moretti, Joseph Pasquale, and Jerry Roth. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. The referee for this bout is Mills Lane. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the Kronk gold, weighing an even 135 pounds, from the Motor City in Detroit, Michigan. As a professional, he's ranked number 5 by the WBC, 6 by the IBF, and 8 by the the WBA. His professional record, an outstanding one. 26 victories with 16 KOs, only 2 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Anthony Baby Jones. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with black trim. He also weighs an even 135 pounds, from Norfolk, Virginia. This 1984 Olympic gold medal champion has run his professional record to 24-1 with 13 KOs. Considered by many to be pound for pound the best fighter in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Pernell, Sweet Pea Whitaker.
All right, now, and go. We've been through all the instructions one time. Remember to protect yourself at all times. Any questions from the challengers? Any questions from the champion? Let's get it on. Come on.
You know, there's an added incentive for Whitaker, who doesn't seem to need it, going into this fight. With Camacho having been defeated, suddenly Whitaker could be next in line for Chavez. He looks sensational enough here. If Meldrick Taylor is moving on to the welterweight division, this could be a preliminary to a fight with Chavez. And Whitaker has said, however, that he would never fight his stablemate Taylor.
And we are told now that Hector Camacho has agreed to come back to the arena and join us at ringside, Larry, for an interview later in the fight. So we'll look forward to that as round 1 progresses between Pernell Whitaker and Anthony Jones. The wild left that Whitaker missed in the first 20 seconds of the bout was about as aggressive a blow as I've ever seen him throw at the outset. And remember, in his last fight, he had a rare first-round knockout of Juan Nazario.
This is uncharacteristic of him. Going to war, going to ground war, you might call it. When he knocked out his last opponent, Even he said he wasn't looking for it. He was boxing. He saw an opening. His fist shot out. He caught the guy a punch he didn't see, and the fight was over. Sometimes after a one-round knockout, and we've seen this happen before, a boxer starts to think of himself more as a slugger and could find himself in some trouble. But I think Whitaker will pull himself together and just fight his fight.
And a couple times in those recent exchanges, we saw the left to the body, which is one of Whitaker's most effective blows. He is known as a slick boxer, but perhaps the one underestimated factor is he does a lot of damage with body punching.
Now Jones is in his southpaw stance here. Let's see when and if he does change to a standard stance.
Whitaker has a lot of experience fighting southpaw. 2 fights with Jose Luis Ramirez, the knockout of Nazario.
Right now, of course, the crowd here is a little spent emotionally. It being a Haugen crowd, this is just some icing.
Jones seemed to enjoy standing at close quarters with Edwin Rosario and trading punches. A lot of people thought it was a mistake. He seems perfectly willing to do the same with Whitaker here. Whitaker will oblige, and so far Pernell is doing it.
You know, there's a question in this fight also of Jones' stamina if the fight goes into the late rounds, because he reportedly had to take off 7, 8, 9 pounds starting late in training as he did. And Whitaker gives a nod to Jones as if to say, hey, that wasn't bad, kid. And it wasn't.
And as we go to Pernell Whitaker's corner, we want to say hello and extend our best wishes and the best wishes of everyone in Pernell's camp to his normal cut man, Ace Murata, who's home in Totowa, New Jersey tonight. We're getting ready to go into hospital for a little bit of a test on Monday. And Ace, we're thinking about you, and so are they.
The defense was real good. You wasn't getting hit with nothing, but you're just loading up too damn much, you see? And that's why you're missing him so much. And I just go out there this time and just box him. The guy ain't got nothing. Okay? All right.
Get that body. Your body punching is coming right through with this guy here. Right? As you're dipping over, go right bottom. Get those ribs in this guy here, right?
I didn't pick that left
Come on.
hand.
That jab, you can't miss that jab. You can't miss off there. Spit it out. Feeling all right? No. Hey, you're looking
Don't
good.
look for him to do too much.
Okay.
You do it.
Good fight, baby.
You do it. Don't look for him.
Find a good fight. Beautiful.
You heard Georgie Benton's admonition to Whitaker. You're loading up a little too much. Just box him and let it happen. Don't try to make it happen insofar as a knockout is concerned.
Whitaker's connect percentage, according to PunchStat in the first round, a little bit lower than the near 50% we're used to from him. But he did seem to be loading up and trying to land power punches a little more than usual.
The head's been close.
Good body punch by Whitaker.
Oh, you don't get that. Come on, come on.
Anthony Jones has managed to deliver to the rib cage a couple times himself.
What Whitaker is doing, Jim, is throwing some very hard jabs. Good, stiff jabs.
He used to be something of a butterfly, but in the last 3 years, he has settled down onto flat feet and throws punches with such calm economy. He is really something to watch.
Having a boxer's kind of instincts and temperament and his kinds of quickness, you expect early in that type of fighter's career in his amateur days for a fighter to be jumping around a lot. Even Sugar Ray Robinson in his early days was a mover. And as they gain experience and confidence and strength, they settle down and start to fight in more classic boxing style. It's much harder for a puncher or a slugger to make that kind of modification.
Get that body.
And this has been the product of constant work and instruction from George Benton to Pernell Whitaker. He's helped to earn Benton a reputation as one of the best teachers in the sport.
Some nice work inside by Jones. Better work from outside by Whitaker.
Good left hand by Whitaker, who has settled down in round 2 but become much more accurate with his punches.
All right, let him go. Step back. Come on, come on. Let him have it. Come on, pick it up, man. Come on, go, boy.
Baby Jones graduated from Henry Ford High School in Detroit, one of the top academic high schools